Hey folks, Jeff, aka Grounded Geek here. Just a really quick message before we jump into this awesome episode with the Cleveland Guardians roller derby. Just a heads up. We had a little technical gremlin sneak into the mix. My mic comes through a little bit distorted during this interview, and everything looked right on StreamYard, it looked right on the Roadcaster, but clearly something had other plans. And if this message sounds okay, then I think we finally got it sorted. Now, we always joke that it wouldn't be a World Gone Geek show without some kind of technical difficulty, but we still take pride in putting out the best quality we can. At the same time, we also pride ourselves on being real, raw, authentic, not overly edited or polished. We're just who we are, and we're all just who we are, right? We own that. So that said, this conversation with the Guardians is too much fun not to go ahead and keep sharing. So thanks for sticking with us, imperfections and all. And hey, if you're near Cleveland, come out to the Cleveland Heights rink on June 14th for the Guardians' next roller derby. It's a doubleheader. I'm going to be there, and I think you should be too. We're going to have a great time watching some roller derby. So let's get into the interview.
We're all living in a world gone geek. It's time to geek hard or go home. The podcast is real. Here's your host, Grounded Geek.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of World Gone Geek. The podcast is real. It truly is real because here we are again with my good friends Utah and Aaliyah. Welcome back, guys.
Greetings, programs.
Hi.
We are excited to bring you another episode of the podcast. Today we are going to be talking with some folks from the Cleveland Guardians roller derby. We're going to get into that in just a little bit, so stay tuned. In the meantime, Utah, you are not at home. We don't see your stormtrooper in the background. There is definitely something different about where you are. Tell us where you are.
Yes, unfortunately, Richard could not make the trip with us. I'm here with my son. We're in Atlanta, Georgia.
That's your son? Tycho looks so different now.
This is well, we name him Mo. His name is Mo now, and he turned into a three-eyed kaiju. Isn't he cute? Anyways, we're here.
You did sound like you were saying, I'm here with my son, and you're holding up.
I'm holding up a little plushie of Mo, one of
which is not Tycho.
Which is not Tycho. No, but I'm here with Taipan.
Taipan, my bad.
No, he's my other son. I have two sons, Jeff.
I know.
This by now.
I know, but you're there with Taipan.
Yes. We're here at MomoCon, the 20th year of MomoCon. And MomoCon is a big anime, gaming, and comics convention here in Georgia, which is why it's called MomoCon. Momo is the Japanese word for peach. Georgia is the peach state.
I didn't know that.
So it was started 20 years ago by a bunch of Georgia Tech students, and it was held on Georgia Tech campus. About 700 people showed up. Move up and go into the future in 2025, 20 years later, over 56,000 people are here this year.
Wow.
It's in the Georgia World Congress Center, which is the big convention center here in Atlanta. And just to give you an idea of the scale of this place. Now, I've gone to San Diego Comic-Con many times. A lot of people think of San Diego Comic-Con as arguably the granddaddy of conventions. So San Diego Comic-Con is held in the San Diego Convention Center, which is about 500,000 square feet of convention floor space. And they last year had 150,000 attendees. So granted, not all those people are on the floor at the same time, but you can imagine how crowded it is. Mm-hmm. Here at MomoCon, they have 56,000 people, and they are occupying all of one building, Building B, at the Georgia World Congress Center. And Building B is 730,000 square feet.
Wow.
So we're talking 1/3 of the attendees in about 5 times the space.
Holy cow.
So one of the things that's making me feel like I want to go to MomoCon now on a regular basis in San Diego is there's a cost difference because we can drive here, which will be is cheaper than the airfare to San Diego. But because there's so much space here, the aisles between the vendors and the booths and even Artist Alley are so much wider. They're like almost twice as wide as they are in San Diego, so you don't feel crowded. And then add to that, there's only 56,000 people here, so there's plenty of space. You don't feel crowded. I think it's great for people who perhaps don't like crowded spaces or have anxiety and very, cramped social situations. And so I'm excited that I came this year. And what I love too, and this is something that I didn't realize until this year, their tagline is, "We are your all ages geek culture convention, anime, gaming, and comics." And so I think their mission and message is very similar to ours.
That's awesome.
Having a great time. Yeah, we're having a great time here. Like I said, our first year here, so far so great. I've already met a couple of voice actors that I recognize from various dubs of Japanese animes and video games. I met the voice actor Sungwon Cho, who, for me anyway, he voiced Flack from Borderlands 3.
Oh,
And he also voiced the squirrel in God of War Ragnarok, which I thought was hilarious. So
nice.
I
I
got
should
to
have
meet
had
him.
you.
Yeah,
If
so
I'd
far so
known,
good.
if I'd known, I should have had you get an autograph for Libby because she cosplays.
Because she
as Flash.
cosplays Flack. Yeah, I didn't think of that until he was going through his characters that he had done.
Yeah.
We stopped at a panel. I'm like, oh, so he's
That's
still here
awesome.
all weekend. He's still here all weekend. So maybe I'll run into him again. We'll see what I can do.
That sounds like a pretty. You're right. I think that does align with our mission a little bit, which is pretty cool. Maybe we should make a road trip next year.
I think it's look, it's an easy road trip.
It's a little
we made
easier
it-
than San Diego. I feel like,
It's
although I
definitely
still want to do that.
Well, yes, I recommend doing San Diego at least once, just to see what the spectacle is. Yeah, MomoCon so far is great, and I think we're hitting it at its 20th anniversary, which is great because they have a whole bunch of cool stuff going on. Plus, I think it's nice to hit the convention at like pre-peak. I think it's only going to get bigger and more popular, and to see it before it gets too crowded and too busy and too expensive, I think is a great time to hit it. To be fair, MomoCon's subject matter only slightly overlaps with mine, so I did kind of take a break from the floor. Taipan loves all this stuff, so he was able to spend all day at the convention, but I went out and snuck out and went and saw a movie. So nothing against MomoCon. It's
Yeah.
just I've done everything that interests me. So while I'm here, I might as well take in some of the great, not necessarily Atlanta specific things like a movie.
Right. Was it like a specifically famous Atlanta movie theater, perhaps?
Oh well, no,
Or
well,
is it just a Cinemark you could have gone to anywhere in the country?
well, it was an AMC, which are very rare up north in Ohio. So it was
got
AMC
a few,
Madison Yards
yeah.
8. Shout out to them. They did great for an AMC 8-screen theater.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, what did you see? What did you see?
I went and saw The Final Reckoning, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning.
All right.
And I will say,
Did they reckon finally?
I think they finally reckoned the impossible mission.
That's good.
But that doesn't mean it's necessarily the last.
Right. I believe it's just Tom Cruise's last, right? Like, isn't he like, I'm
I-
done with this?
I feel like Tom Cruise has very strongly hinted and implied that he may
Yeah.
not be putting his life in danger
Sure.
any longer for these movies, and I feel like he's going to step back and produce, and then maybe Ethan Hunt will take on like the Jim Phelps role of old, right, where he's the one in charge and assigning the missions and his own
Yeah.
recordings, and it'll pop up, but he's not going to be like doing the American version of Jackie Chan.
Still
for all this
going.
stuff. Right. I mean, and I mean, he's amazing in this, just like he is in all the other ones. And this one, for me, the last half of it was much more engaging than the first half. The first half felt like a lot of recap that I personally didn't need, but I can understand why they felt like they needed it in there, because a lot of people will not have binge watched all the Mission Impossible movies like perhaps I did, which you can on Paramount Plus.
That's right. They're all on Paramount Plus right now. You know,
Yeah,
he's
that would be-
62. He's 62 years old.
He's
and
older
still
than
doing.
he's older than both of us, and he's like jumping motorcycles off of the largest, tallest ramps possible. He's like, hanging off of the side of a cargo plane. He's like not just wing walking. He's like wing somersaulting and stuff. I won't spoil too much, but I mean,
Yeah.
you've seen the clips in the trailer. He's doing that stuff on plane, and yes, he has safety harnesses because you have
Well,
to.
duh. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
Even
but it's
stuntmen
still
would.
right, exactly. But it's just still insane that he's, I think to myself, he's almost 10 years older than us, and he's doing that, and I'm like, I don't know, sitting on my couch playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. So
I
sort
pulled
of
a
the
muscle,
same thing.
I pulled a muscle getting out of bed this morning, so I
Right,
don't know.
yeah, so and there and you're not getting any accolades for doing your own stunts.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy. And yeah, all of them are on. Go ahead, Aaliyah. Sorry. Have you seen Mission Impossible? Any of them?
No, that's what I was going to say.
There's like 117 of them now, I think. I don't know. How many?
They're all great.
117.
You can skip the second one. That one's maybe save that one for last. I don't know.
I mean, it's fun.
It's
It's very different.
it's not
from
a
all the
mission.
others.
It's really not a Mission Impossible movie to me.
It's more
like,
action.
It's a John Woo movie starring Tom Cruise. Is really what it is to me.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why I guess it's called Mission Impossible, because you can never do it.
well,
But that's why they always complete the mission. Every
right.
movie.
I feel
It's the
like
worst. It's the
they're
worst
like
title
they
ever.
fail. They fail every time because they say that it's impossible and then they realize it's possible. I'm like, that's like
So
0% success rate.
Right. The impossible part of the mission is making it impossible. So therefore, it's Mission Impossible.
So the possible part of the possible part
The
of the mission.
impossible part is
impossible
failing the
part.
mission because they always pass it. So that makes it impossible.
Oh, it's impossible for them to not possibly fail.
I don't know. I think my brain just.
I've gone cross-eyed.
But yeah, it is.
Possibly
I
possible
mean,
to do the
So
impossible.
the impossible part of the
when
mission.
the mission is impossible, you call these people. That's where that's where it comes from.
That's
right?
that's
if
where the
you
name
think
came
it's
from.
impossible, get
Call
these
these
folks.
guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because they'll do it. Yeah,
Right.
That's
And so
mission isn't impossible for them. It's just not.
exactly. It's like
right,
yeah.
right. Which is funny because I guess that makes sense. Because they are called the Impossible Mission Force. So
Yeah.
the IMF.
Well, Aaliyah, you should watch them because they are a lot of fun. They really, really are. The first one was a lot more cerebral than I expected, which I liked about it. Like it was a lot more smart. Like it wasn't just action. The rest of them have elements of that, but they like to ratchet up
They
the action
skew a
even
little
more.
bit for that,
They skew more action because they want to see what crazy things they can make this old man Tom Cruise do.
I almost feel like there's a faction of people who are like, will he die this time?
Exactly.
Will he get hurt this time? Well,
Yeah.
he did get hurt on one. Was it the last one he got hurt?
I don't know. Yeah, I think. Well, it might have been this one, or was it?
Or-
I don't remember. I
No,
remember
it was
hearing
one of
something
the
about it.
previous ones. Yeah, it was the previous ones. One of the
Oh,
either the-
yeah, he hurt
the-
his
he
leg,
broke his ankle.
leg jumping across
Oh,
the
wow.
Yeah.
building,
Yes,
and he
and that
continued the scene.
and that shot is in the movie.
Yeah, the one where he breaks it stays in the movie because he continued the scene
Yeah.
until the cut, and he did it all on a broken leg. And again, I will repeat, I pulled a
You did
muscle
that
getting
going
out of bed
this morning. Again,
I
where
don't
are the
understand how he's doing this stuff. I really
Where-
don't.
where are
Like,
the
it's
accolades
amazing.
He
for
does
Jeff?
all of his own stunts. That's incredible.
He does. It's
He
crazy.
does. It's a little
And he
nuts.
does all his own running in every movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you for reminding about that. If you're a fan of Tom Cruise running, you're going to love this movie.
This one's got some running. I saw it
It's-
in
it's-
some of the
it's- I mean,
making of stuff.
I feel like ever since I think the fourth or fifth one, I think it's in the contract in his rider. I need to run for at least 3 minutes in the movie.
He's got
or
that
else I'm not doing
iconic
it.
like way of running.
He's
too, that's
got
why.
that weird running
Yeah.
gait sort of
and,
thing
and it's not just Mission Impossible. Like he did it.
No, that's
in
just how he is,
all,
because of
all
how-
of his movies. Even though
of his like bone structure or whatever. That's just how he runs.
what was the lawyer one? The Firm.
It's
Even
weird.
that one, he's running.
Oh yes, even in the firm
He's a
he was
weird
running.
runner.
I don't know that it's weird. It's just
I don't
like,
think it's
very
different.
specific to Tom Cruise.
Yes, like if, for example, if like if we take video of like sprinters and runners or people just running and like made them silhouettes, I swear a good majority of people would be able to say that's Tom Cruise.
Yeah. He's
just-
got just an iconic way of running. I
Very
guess.
like very upright and kind of his arms are doing this weird thing. It's iconic is the word. I don't think there are many people
Or
that can do it like he
unique.
can.
Unique.
Unique, okay, sure. If you wanna diss Tom Cruise like that, fine.
No,
do
no,
that.
no, I don't know. Don't come for me, Tom Cruise. Like you come out here and do these
I
stunts.
mean,
jump.
He's 62, but he could probably take us all three of us.
I think so. Yes. Yeah. Well, hey, look, it's kind of, he's like a certified skydiver and high altitude skydiver.
Just nuts. Yeah.
He's a certified licensed pilot of planes, jets, and helicopters. He knows how to deep scuba dive. He knows how to free dive. I mean, it's kind of crazy, all the stuff that he does. So I got to give him credit for that. I'm not necessarily a big believer of Scientology, but everything else is just,
And
and
wanted to do something like that, like be like a scuba diver or like a certified scuba diver or like certified.
there was one point in my life where I wanted to be a certified skydiver. I did a lot of vertical wind tunnel diving in Florida because they had one there.
I would try that, but I will never jump out of a plane.
You don't think jumping out of a perfectly
I
fine
don't
plane is
even want to be in the plane to begin. I mean, I'm fine flying, like, you know what I mean? But I don't prefer, like, I mean, I'm not like, yay, let's go fly. But I mean, if I got to get somewhere, I fly. I'm not afraid. But at the same time, I'm like, once I'm in there, like, I don't want to get out until we land.
until it's land.
Until we're at our final destination.
That is a fair statement. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. Scuba diving scares me for some reason. I feel like we did like the tourist thing, this tourist scuba diving thing where you get the scuba gear on and you go down, I don't know, not even 100 feet, and you get to feed the fish. And number one, I didn't realize how cold the ocean is. The ocean is very cold once you get past like 30 feet. And so I'm like feeding the fish like this because I'm like, and it's very strangely claustrophobic because everything, like, all you hear is yourself breathing in the air and your tank. And for me, that was disconcerting.
Yeah.
So like going any deeper where like you need lights to see because it's so dark because the sun doesn't, I can't do it.
Yeah.
No, thank
I'd
you.
like think about that on cruises where they're just, you like look over the edge and it's just like a black abyss.
Right. And it's like miles deep.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to touch the bottom.
Tom Cruise would jump off.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
And he would wave and smile and go, see my movie as he goes down.
Are there any crazy things like that you would do, Aaliyah? Would you jump out of a plane, or would you?
Would you stand in front of a brick wall?
No, I would never stand in front of a brick wall.
You would sit in front of a brick wall, though.
I would, yeah. No, I'm terrified of heights. Definitely right there with you, Jeff. I do not ever want to jump out of a plane willingly. Should ever willingly jump out of a plane. Scuba diving. I don't know. None of that actually just sounds like fun to me. It doesn't sound intriguing. Doesn't sound like, I'm terrified of the water. Like, I can swim, but I don't want to go underneath and see all of the things. Maybe like snorkeling, to see like the coral
being on the surface and seeing under. Yeah.
But you put me down in But maybe surfing. I don't know. Okay. There's like certain things that I think I would like to do, like surfing or something, like trying it maybe one time.
Okay.
But it sounds like a lot of these water things are like either near land or at the surface.
Oh, I'm with you there. Yeah, I don't want to be out there in the
middle of the ocean
where the stuff is, the sharks and the
stuff.
Yeah.
Even surfing is like a stretch.
Keep me close to land. I am not a beach person.
That sounds like the name of the next sea, water, ocean horror movie. The Stuff.
Jason Statham versus The Stuff.
Do whatever you want, but stay away from the stuff.
I'm definitely a beach person, but I'm not a ocean-y
wait,
girl.
Don't you do some indoor rock climbing or something, Aaliyah?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess there is like some things that I would do that's like I would probably like rock. I mean, I have.
But how high would you like rock climb up like an actual rock face in the nature?
I've done that. Like I've done in West Virginia with a friend that I don't even know if it's like certified. Now that I'm like looking back.
Well, no, but
he bought the gear.
But you did that.
I did do it.
The gear.
And then I took my sister with me. Like, oh, you should come with me and do this. And she did it.
How high up were you?
I don't. I'm not really good with that type of stuff. But I mean, it was decent because it was on a mountain in West Virginia, so it
Okay,
wasn't
yeah. See,
terribly high, but it wasn't
well,
like
this
low.
is good because since you don't really pay attention to that, we could just tell you to keep going, and the next thing you know, you're like a
No,
thousand feet
see,
up. No,
there's people
no,
that's climbing like El Capitan in
right.
Yeah.
Yosemite, and I'm
They're
not
like,
doing that.
and
Like,
they're free climbing, like usually
Crazy
yeah,
just a.
stuff.
Ooh.
yeah, that isn't what I
Hey, by
want
the
to
way,
do.
Tom Cruise did that in. Oh, he did that in the second movie.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he was that the one where he's hanging by the
Yeah, he's
one
hanging.
on.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah, in the
gosh! So you
helicopter.
still got to see it.
yeah.
You got to
It was
see it though, Elia.
For
You still got to see
at
number
least
two.
at least the intro. That's what he's doing. He's
Since
like
you're a
free
rock climber,
climbing.
you'll appreciate it. Yeah.
I do. And there was like another part of me that was like, oh man, I would be really interested in like learning how to snowboard because I went down this like rabbit hole of seeing all these snowboarders going through like the mountain. I can't think of what that actual term is. Like a crevasse. I don't know what it is, but
Crevasse.
yeah,
A
and that
crevasse
crevasse
full
it
of the
looks
stuff.
terrifying because if it's like soft snow or something, then it's an avalanche, and you got to figure out
Yeah.
how to get out of that. So
Well, it sounds like if we ever join the Impossible Mission Force, you two are ready to go out and do the adventure. I'll be the guy on the tape. I'll just be letting you guys know.
You'll be
I
Benji
pulled a
in
muscle
the
pressing record, guys. Can you go?
You
You
are-
guys go out there and get this
You
done
were
for me?
100% Simon Pegg for the first couple of movies he was in.
There you go. That's me. I'll be the guy behind. I'll be the guy in the chair, as Ned calls it on Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right.
So we've got to get to our guests. Before we do, I do want to mention, obviously, we just really pumped up Paramount there a little bit, talking about Mission Impossible. Every Mission Impossible movie is on Paramount Plus right now, except for this one. Obviously, you got to go to theaters to see The Final Reckoning. But every movie is on there. You can catch up with all the Mission Impossible stuff right there on Paramount Plus. You know what else is on Paramount Plus? That's my segue.
What, Jeff?
There's a hit series called Landman. It's in the middle of season 1, starring Billy Bob Thornton, Demi Moore, and John Hamm. And it's now available on DVD and Blu-ray with over 85 minutes of special features. Landman season 1. You can own it on DVD and Blu-ray.
Is that actual
And
physical media? You actually have that in
This
your
is
hand?
physical media. Yeah. It's pretty great.
Wow.
So, I know that a lot of our viewers out there like physical media. They like holding on to stuff. And I'm talking about Paramount Plus, where you can watch this
100%.
show. Well, you can also get it on physical media, and you can win it from us right here at World Gun Geek because we've partnered with Paramount on a few of these things. My wife and I just started Landman literally last night, and so far, so good. I'm really loving it. Billy Bob Thornton is great in this. Like, it's just, the writing is so good. It's from one of my favorite show creators, Taylor Sheridan.
Sheridan.
I think I mentioned him. I mean, obviously I mentioned him because we get a lot of stuff from Paramount, and he does a lot of stuff on Paramount. But his shows are great. Like, I love every show I've watched with Taylor Sheridan. Another one is Tulsa King, which is with Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone.
This is season 2 in my hands right here. And then there's Yellowstone, season 5, part 2. Now
It's already
available
at season 5?
also on DVD and Blu-ray with over 2 hours of special features. Generations of Blood have led to this. Yellowstone season 5, part 2. You can own a piece of the legacy now on DVD and Blu-ray. And it is over. I think it's done. Like, I think this is the last season.
Was
I
that
watched
the last
it.
season?
It-
Last part of the last season?
Yeah, I think Kevin Costner wanted to be done, but I didn't know they were going to end the show, and they may not have. But it seems like they did at the end. Like, there's some closure to some things. Not saying they couldn't keep going, but there's some closure to some things that we've been watching for 5 seasons.
Well, and they've got other shows,
it's
right?
pretty great.
Isn't that the show with Harrison Ford
That's
and
so
Helen Mirren? Is that the
1923
prequel?
It
that
is.
the prequel?
There's
Yeah.
1883, then there's 1923, then there's Yellowstone. Now, they might do some stuff in between. I don't know.
Right.
1883 and 1923 are done. And like I said, Yellowstone maybe as well. The finale was great. Like, there was just a lot of great stuff happened in this show. I enjoy it quite a bit. I really liked it. You should check it out. And I'm going to give all 3 of these to somebody.
To me? Oh, not to me.
I've got a few of them, so I could, but we're going to give some of these away. We're going to give some of these away, and here's all you got to do. Follow us on Instagram, at World Gun Geek. I'm only going to make you do Instagram, but we'd love you to follow us on YouTube and all the other places as well. But at World Gun Geek on Instagram, and I'm going to be posting images from Landman and Yellowstone over this
Do they have to-
following week.
do
I
have to
need you to
guess
go
which one?
no. They're the actual art that you see here, basically.
All
And you got to like those and comment below. There'll be instructions on how to do that. So follow us on Instagram, and I will be giving away multiple copies of these. I even have
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
I even have the Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, that was pretty
That's
good.
a pretty good one. And this is divided,
Oh,
but
here
I've
we
still
go.
got the first season of Halo.
Hey,
Season
you know
one,
what?
which
I
I
didn't mind
enjoyed.
it.
I thought it was
I
great.
didn't mind it.
If you're a big fan of the games, they do take some liberties with the story. That's fine, but on its own, I enjoyed it quite a bit. So, and
Yeah.
speaking of Tom Cruise, look what else I've got. Top Gun
Hey.
Maverick. I got one
another
left of
Paramount
these.
distributed movie.
That's right. So I got one left of these. I'm going to give all that stuff away on Instagram over the coming weeks. So make sure you follow us and check out all that. And we'll get you. You might end up with some free physical media that you can put on your shelf. And when the internet goes down, you can still watch them. That's what
That's
people
right.
are.
Hey.
That's the big argument, right, against streaming. They're like, what do you watch when the internet's down? And I'm like, I read.
Look.
I mean,
Yet another form of physical media.
exactly. Yeah. So really, well, I do it on Kindle, but still.
Oh, see, now you've
It has
ruined it.
to-
Oh,
But it has
Yeah,
to be
no,
downloaded.
it
Like if
doesn't
it's one of the ones that's out there on Amazon, I can't read it until I download. So physical, I love physical books. You can see behind me, I got lots of them. So I'm not knocking physical media. I absolutely adore it, and I keep as much of it as I can. But we're trying to keep that going. So if you're a physical media fan, we're going to give you some free physical media to either continue your collection or start it if you're brand new to trying to. Maybe you grew up in a generation where streaming is all you have. You didn't know there was physical media. Like there's kids that don't know what a DVD is really. You know?
I can't
mean,
even.
it's crazy.
VHS.
I can't even put my head
Yeah.
around that.
Crazy
I will
stuff.
say though that for our trip, Taipan wondered if we still had our portable DVD players that we bought decades ago for road trips, because he had some DVDs of an anime, and he thought if there's some downtime, I might want to watch them. So there's still hope for younger generations, Jeff.
That's awesome.
I'm just saying.
All right. So we are about to get to our special guests today. We have a special treat joining us. Aaliyah and I got a chance to meet a couple of these folks out at Fan Expo this year.
awesome.
And I was so excited because I've always been wildly interested in this sport, but just have never, I pulled the trigger and actually gone to see it in action. But today we got some superheroes on 8 wheels. Members of the Cleveland Guardians roller derby team are going to join us. Now,
Yes.
these athletes don't just bring the thunder on the track. They embody the kind of passion, community, and sheer geek level dedication to their sport, the way we like to celebrate in World Gone Geek, right? We love to celebrate things that people are passionate about and they geek out over. Well, this is it right here. Whether you're derby savvy or just roller curious, is that a thing? We're going to have to ask them. I don't know how that
Roller
works. but
curious. I like that. Roller
you're
curious.
going to want to hear their stories. But rather than spoil the fun, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. But first, let me bring them to the stage here. Let's do this. Hey, it's the Cleveland Guardians roller derby.
Hello. Good morning.
Morning. How are you guys this morning?
Great. How are you?
Good. We're recording early in the morning because you guys are practicing today, I think, right, for an upcoming match.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, let me go ahead and give you guys a chance to introduce yourselves. Tell us. We'll go down the line, however you guys want to do it. Tell us who you are and how long you've been doing roller derby, and then we'll get a little more into the actual sport.
My name's Right Hand Man. I've been a Guardian since I think 2017. I played for a couple of different teams, but came back home to the Cleveland Guardians and just building the team as the years go on.
My name's
Awesome.
Maloy. I've been skating for 13 years with Burning River Roller Derby, and this is my first year playing with the Cleveland Guardians. I also play for Team Ohio Roller Derby, so represent the whole entire state.
My name's Raptor. This is my second season playing roller derby and with the Cleveland Guardians, so I'm one of the newer skaters.
I'm Gal Fox. I have been skating with Burning River Roller Derby and the Cleveland Guardians since probably early 2023 is when I should start counting it. So a couple years.
Awesome, awesome. And so I know that there's folks that are coming in here. Now I've seen roller derby like when I was growing up. I know this is a little different than what we saw back when Utah and I were growing up. A little bit more theatrical. What you guys are doing is legit sport out here. I want you to tell us a little bit about the sport of roller derby, kind of how it happened, and in particular, if you can get into some of the rules, because I think that's where people might be a little confused. And I am actually looking for some video. I'm going to be putting in the show notes for folks who really want to understand how this sport's played, to see how you guys do this. But tell us a little bit about kind of like how the sport you guys play originated.
I think you probably have the best view on this. You are the
I'm
most
the
seasoned
old one.
skater here. Yeah.
Take it away.
So
You're the seasoned. You're seasoned. That's what
You're
we're
well
talking about.
seasoned.
Say seasoned.
Yeah.
aka old. It's fine.
Oh, come on. You bring so much flavor to this track. It's great.
There you go.
Burning River started in Cleveland in 2006, so the sport's been around for a really long time. I also grew up watching Roller Jam in the 90s, so that's how I
Okay.
knew about roller derby. So it is a little bit different now than what it used to be. It's less professional wrestling and more legit sport with rules. You have to, there's people are like, oh, you elbowing each other, but no, there's no
Pro
elbowing.
slides. No.
You could get a forearm, you could get a low block, high block. So, we try to keep it really safe while keeping it a legitimate sport. You should come watch it. So it's hard to really describe what we actually do without having, a video in front of you, because it's such an intricate, different sport. So you guys should definitely come watch us play sometime, so we can explain it to you in real time as it's happening in front of your face.
Yeah.
That's great. I have been to a couple of matches with the Burning River.
Awesome.
And we have some friends whose daughters got involved a couple years ago. They've graduated college now, but it's such a, what do I want to say? There's so much movement and action. There's a lot going on. And I think people fail to realize that, you guys are always moving. You're always in motion. There's stuff happening in the little groups. So you're right. I think that actually experiencing it and seeing it is the easiest and best way to know how incredible this sport is.
And we're actually gonna. I know I am trying to come out there. I think it's the 14th of June. You guys have a match coming up.
Yep.
And that's what we're trying to promote. When this episode drops, there'll be time for people to still come out and get tickets for that. How would they do that, first of all?
Oh, you can buy tickets at the door.
And where you guys
get your
play?
cash card.
And we play in Cleveland Heights at the Cleveland Heights Community Center. We're at the South Rink right now, here prior to our practice time.
It figures. I live in Cleveland Heights, but you're catching me while I'm in Atlanta. Man, you know what?
Well, that's why the June 14th, I'll come by your house. I'll pick you up and we'll go if you're available. Let's make sure you're available. Are you going to go, Leah? Are you available, or are you out of town?
No, I'm on a plane.
That's
Not
right. I
jumping
thought
out.
you were leaving. Yeah, not
you
jumping
take-
out this time. You're staying in the plane until it lands.
Taking the brick wall with you?
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, Utah and I will try to come out on the 14th, because I'm very excited to see it
And
live
if
and
you
to see
can't
what.
make it to our games in person, we do have streams on YouTube, Cleveland Guardians Roller Derby.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, awesome.
Like, our stream team is amazing. I think that we have some of the best camera work as far as I've seen from Derby.
The best camera.
Okay,
work.
the best camera work.
There you go.
I didn't
Yeah.
want to say it,
Don't-
but yes, we have the best camera work.
Awesome.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
what is like a typical practice? I know you guys said that you're doing it today. What does that look like?
So it's a 3-hour practice. We work on a lot of strategy-based things for like upcoming games. A lot of drills, just working on fundamentals. But at this point in the season, it becomes a lot of strategic-based drilling, really in preparation for the games ahead.
Yeah. So we have a game coming up in Rochester on the 31st, and we've been doing a lot of footage watching, and here's the people we have to look out for. Here's the way we have to train for that. So that's how we handle our practices.
So it's co-ed? You guys like
Yes, Guardians is open gender.
Open gender. Yeah.
okay.
Nice.
Very inclusive to everybody, because everybody has a spot. Everybody has a part to play.
That's amazing.
So what are the different positions in Derby, and what do you guys specialize in?
So there's jammers and there's blockers and there's one pivot. I'm typically a jammer, so essentially I use my body to get past other people to score the points, while the other team members are blocking the other team's jammer. It's pretty. That's kind of the simplest way to describe it. Is one person on each team scores the points by getting their body past the other people.
If you're watching the game, they've got a star on their helmet. It's
Right.
a little helmet cover.
Okay.
That's the person who's scoring your points.
Yeah. And he's definitely one of our star jammers. I'm a pivot, so I do it all. The pivot is a blocker to start, and if your jammer is struggling, they can pass it to the pivot, and the pivot becomes the jammer. So I play a crucial role, and we wear a stripe on our helmet, and I think you also do it all.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I'm a blocker, but every once in a while they'll put me in as a jammer, be a wild card.
So yeah,
Okay,
essentially anybody can kind of fill in any position at any time, which is kind of a nice thing. Everybody is well-rounded and works on their skills in all those different little disciplines.
I'm just a
That's
blocker. Working on my
you're
ability.
not.
I'm still
Just
learning.
a blocker.
Our blockers
Blockers are important too.
people.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to embrace the thing that you're best at, right? And it's like, if that's you, that's you. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
So
And
what kind of league do you guys? Is there a nationwide league, regional league, in terms of like the teams you play?
Yeah, every city and every state and every country has a roller derby league. So we skate under it's called the Men's Roller Derby Association. So that would be like the MLB of what we do.
Okay.
So that's the entire governing body. And then, like I said, every city's got a roller derby league, and they function as a business. So we're a nonprofit, and we're also a sport, skater owned, skater run.
We went to
That's
Canada
great.
a couple of weeks ago and played against a team in Toronto. And at the end of June, we're going to the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We're playing teams
Birmingham.
from England and France.
England, France. I don't remember who the.
I think 2 teams from England and a team from France will be playing against.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that's so
So
cool.
they got teams in Asia, Australia,
Yeah.
South America. It's all over.
There's a World Cup coming up in July, so Team USA, there's a team for everybody.
I'm really bummed. I was planning to make it out there, but my travel plans have not really materialized the way I was hoping they would.
Oh man,
But that is going to be at the beginning of July. It's going to be in Innsbruck, Austria.
very
Oh,
cool.
my gosh.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's everywhere.
Is that going to be so? It is like your European trip or those matches also going to be live streamed as well?
They should. I would
Hopefully.
think
Should be.
so. Yeah. We can send
be
you
great.
guys the information once we get it.
Okay.
Very
Yeah, that
cool.
would be awesome.
Now I also noticed, was it your last match against Chicago? The team name. Are the team names always so creative? I don't know if you guys know Jeff and Aaliyah. Why don't you guys tell us? The Chicago team name is.
There's
The
the Bruise
Step-
Brothers. There's the Bruise
Right.
Brothers and the Step Brothers. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of teams that have kind of cheeky names like that.
I think
It's something to
the
have fun with.
St. Louis has the gatekeepers and the beekeepers.
Mhm.
Cute,
Pittsburgh
yeah.
has the undead and the zombies. Kind of a lot of puns on the sort of B team name.
Very cool.
I think Burning River, which Moloch and I skate for, has
Right.
the All Stars, Hazmat Crew, and the Pyromaniacs. So it's a lot of fun.
I love
That
it.
is awesome. So like what inspired you guys to actually get involved in roller derby?
You started first, so
Okay. I had just graduated grad school and I played sports my entire life. And like I said, I grew up watching Roller Jam. I just happened to watch a documentary on Netflix called Blood on the Flat Track. And I was like, I wonder if Cleveland has a derby league. And I looked it up on Facebook and lo and behold, they had an orientation coming up. And that was in 2012 and went to that orientation and met some of my best friends in the world and never looked back. And here I am,
Yeah.
13 years later.
and for me,
That's so cool.
oddly enough, Moloch and I are married, and we met.
Funnily enough.
Yeah. Years ago, after we met, I came to watch her play, and then I played hockey as a youth, so it interested me right off the bat. And as time went on, I just figured, well, I'll try it out, and it's kind of been ever since. I've just been involved. So
We bullied him into playing.
Yeah.
Everybody in the Guardians was like, get this guy on skates right now.
yeah, so kind of worked out perfectly.
And I played sports my whole life growing up, and a few years prior, I wasn't really doing anything. I was getting out of shape, and I needed to find something to stay active. I always thought roller derby was a women's league sport, and one day I saw Burning River share a post from the Cleveland Guardians, and as soon as I saw there was a men's league, I sent a message, and I got a response within 1 minute, and showed up to practice, and that was about it.
Wow.
Yeah, I did learn about Burning River, the women's league first. I saw Burning River at Pride one year, I want to say. And I kind of like, that was like, oh, neat. There's a roller derby team in Cleveland. And then I heard they were doing a learn to skate program called Skater Tots, which is for both teams. I think signups end this week, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we start June 8th.
Yeah, so there is time to sign up if anyone's actually interested in playing. From Skater Tots, we teach you from the ground up. But back to my story. I heard about my Tots class coming up, and I was like, oh, I want to learn to skate. I had never seen roller derby played at this point. I don't know that I fully watched the game of roller derby until partway through I was learning to play the game, and I'm kind of embarrassed to say it.
Yeah.
But, I was just looking for some community. I found a bunch of really close friends and a really, really engaging sport. It very quickly became my favorite sport.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And you guys, I mean, this is on traditional roller skates, 4 wheels on each skate. These aren't roller blades. Is there a version with roller blades or not? I'm just, is that even a
How
thing?
dare you?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Not for
Tell
the
us about
purists,
that.
Jeff.
What is the
But that's what
controversy
I'm-
of rollerblades and roller skates?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about.
Interior skates. So I grew up rollerblading, and I think that it's an easy transition from doing the rollerblades to the quad skates. But obviously you can see the difference. These are my husband's skates, quad skates, custom antique AR2s.
Nice.
There's a plate that gets attached to it, so everybody's got different types of plates, different types of wheels, different types of toe stops. Everybody likes a different type of boot, so there's all sorts of different ways you can go with this. But I find that skating on quad skates is a little bit easier on the body. It sets your knees properly, it sets your hips properly. This is my sports medicine background talking, but when you see people on rollerblades, you'll see like their knees are turned in. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you get the knee pain, you get the hip pain, you get the back pain. With quad skates, you have that platform that sets you in the right anatomical position, and it's a little bit easier, I think, to tolerate on the body.
Plus, I think the wider base just gives you more leverage when you're doing those really physical things. Like hitting.
Absolutely.
And also, you
That
got
makes sense.
shots on roller skates, and a lot of times, if you're like a jammer, you end up running on your toe stops. So that's a big aspect of it too.
So true.
Interesting. Yeah.
Are
I've
there
never been able-
regulations? I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead. I was going to ask if there are regulations on. Are there like specific things you can only have certain types of wheels or certain weight for the wheels or the frames, or you can just
No,
go with whatever?
everybody's got their own setup, and the skate durometers, the wheel durometers go from your softest wheels to your hardest wheels. So it depends on what floor you're skating on. If you're skating on a floor like ours where it's concrete, you'll go kind of like midway, so you get some slide. If you're skating on a really slick floor, you're going to skate on your softest wheels so you can get a grip.
Good grip.
So everybody's got a different thing that they like. There's really no regulation on what you can skate on,
As long as
Okay.
as long as it's quad skates.
Yeah.
No extra
Okay.
wheels.
No, that would be weird.
It might be on top.
Fifth
the
wheel.
thing, if you had a middle wheel, now I'm just thinking on it, you'd lose a
Oh,
bunch
see,
of
you got to wonder.
A little motor inside or something.
Whatever little advantage you can get, right?
That's too funny.
With physicality, I'm pretty sure a motor would jam up really quickly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So it's interesting. So I mean, it sounds like the way you were describing this, the skate itself really makes me think of like even skateboarding, like how detailed that, someone who's really into skateboarding gets with the trucks and the wheels. They want to make sure that they get exactly the right kind of feel. Not everybody rides on the same smoothness. Some of them want a little bit more traction, all that. So that's very interesting. There's a lot more strategy than you think than just throwing on some skates and getting out there.
Yep. And we do
And
have a
how
local skate shop in Cleveland called Next Level Skate Shop. The owner is Coco Sparks. She's been with Burning River since the very beginning. So she
Right.
knows
Awesome.
everything about skates. We send everybody right to her, and she'll, take a look at your foot, take a look at your stance, and she'll make sure that you're leaving the shop with the right equipment.
She's
That's
been
awesome.
voted best skate shop in Cleveland, I think 2023 or 24.
Yeah. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll put the link in the show notes. Good.
Great. She'd love that.
So like what is like a personal or like a highlight memory that you guys have, like a game or I don't know, practice or something along those lines that you could share with somebody that might be interested? Is it physical? I'm sorry, I've never like really watched roller derby, but I am very, very interested in it as a sport. So is it like physical? I know hockey can be a little bit physical.
It's a full contact sport. Like you could hit people as hard as you can with your shoulders and your hips.
We've
Yeah.
got a teammate who, whenever they get hit, they kind of just go sliding all the way into the audience sometimes.
Yeah, it is very physical. You have to take care of yourself. Like a lot of training goes into it because it is the highest contact sport. You're skating against some of the biggest people you've ever seen, some of the smallest people you've ever seen. Um, yeah, it's super physical.
So what's like a highlight?
Yeah,
or
I
like
think
a
a
favorite
highlight
memory?
for me personally is how the team has grown this season. Over the years, I mean, as you may imagine, it's a sport that you pay to play. We're all adults. We have jobs. We have lives. But getting some of that buy-in from new skaters that are just coming on board and watching them develop into higher level skaters, that's been a highlight for me because the team has changed, a lot over the last few years, and we're in a really good spot this year. We've only lost one game so far this year, so
Nice.
Wow.
That's
it's
awesome.
it's become a really interesting thing to watch and be a part of.
Super cool.
Well,
great.
my highlight is when you proposed to me.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to. I was
When-
going to ask if the marriage had or wedding had anything to do with the highlight.
Yes, that's definitely my highlight. We had a doubleheader where we played like an open scrimmage with the Guardians, and I don't know why I didn't realize like his whole family was hiding around. My whole family was hiding around, and I'm like, oh, whatever. So at the end of the game, one of my teammates gets on the microphone and she's like she's like, oh, Malloy, come out here. We're going to talk about you. I'm like, why? And then she's like, oh, I got some nice things to say, but somebody else has some really nice things to say. And here he comes on skates.
Oh, look at his face.
Just skates out there, smoothest transition to getting on his knee on skates in front of everybody, proposes to me. I mean, that was just one of the best nights of my life. It was amazing.
That's
awesome.
incredible.
I love that.
It was
Is that
great.
somewhere like recorded for posterity? Were you guys
I
streaming that?
I do have videos
Yeah.
of many different angles. My teammates all knew. Everybody knew. For the most
Everybody knew.
part. No one. I had no idea.
It took some planning and
Yeah.
some secrecy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was-
wow.
Yeah.
Talk about Mission Impossible.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, what are the do you get the other two have highlights before I move on to the next question? I just want to make sure you guys get a chance.
Wanna-
Like I said, normally I'm a blocker, but they threw me in as jammer on our last game, and I ended up scoring 20 points in one jam.
Nice.
Nice,
My highest scoring jam yet, so I was happy about that.
very cool.
Cool.
Some of my favorite moments in Derby are when I do a thing I think I couldn't do, or I do a thing I've been working on. So primarily I'm a blocker, and I've really been trying to work on my ability to catch and hold people and slow them down so that I can get support and we can kind of, keep things moving for our team, but not their team. And, being able to look back and see how I have grown in my ability to do that, just kind of generally my stopping power is something I'm really, really proud of.
That's awesome.
So tell us a little bit about like how long is a game? Is it in rounds, quarters? Like how does the structure of the game play out?
Yeah, there are two 30-minute periods. Each period is broken up into a non-finite number of jams, and that's the only really good way I can explain it. Each jam lasts for either 2 minutes or until the first jammer out of the pack calls it off, which you do by tapping your hips like this. So if you're watching Derby footage and you see this and you hear 4 whistles, that's a jam ending because the jammer's called it off.
Okay.
That goes for half an hour. You have a typically 15-minute intermission, and then we do it all again for a second half hour. And I'm kind of trying to skirt around the rules because they can get really complicated really quickly.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's fine. And we'll get to see it live, and that's what I'm looking forward to. But
and then
I just wanted to know what to expect.
Each team has 3 timeouts and 1 official review per half. And the official review is, hey, you'll see someone go like this. Hey, we saw something on the track that we think should have been a penalty. We saw something on the track we think shouldn't have been a penalty. We would like the referee crew to reevaluate this decision, or we'd like to appeal this decision the ref crew made. The refs go and talk about it, and if you win the official review, you keep your official review. You can do it again. If you don't get it, you don't keep the official review. So it's really nice. It can be used as a strategic break. It can be used to try to get the other jammer a penalty, or try to get a blocker off a penalty or what have you. And then timeouts are a minute typically outside of the official review, which runs until the ref crews finish.
And how many people are out there per side for each of those 5?
So
you've got
one jammer, 4 blockers, or 1 jammer, 3 blockers, and a pivot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
Is there always a pivot, or is there?
Unless they're in the box, or unless you forget to put the cover on your helmet, which happens. Sometimes there's a lot of confusion when you're switching shifts. And
I was going to say, you shift in and out sort of like hockey, right?
like hockey, so you go out
All
and
right.
shifts. So it's maximum 2-minute shifts.
And then
Okay,
when you
so-
said in the box, like one of the players could be penalized.
Penalty.
And then are you just down for that, or do you bring somebody in, or so is that like hockey as well?
Stuck in the box.
Oh, you get power plays, right?
Right.
Pretty much,
So it would be a power play.
Jammer to go to the box, and then only the other team's able to score.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So if your jammer's in the box, can the pivot then take that role, or you just
The
can't
pivot has
score?
to have the physical helmet cover with the star on it.
Oh,
in
so
order
the
to become a
pivot,
jam.
it's actually a physical handoff of the star
Yeah,
to the
it's
pivot.
a-
You
Yep.
can't throw it. You have to make a
very
physical,
physical
handoff.
Oh, interesting.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool.
So I'm sorry if you said this already, but when would somebody like do the hips?
Hands on the
Off
hips.
jam.
Hands on the hips.
The call off a jam.
Well,
What does that
Yeah,
mean?
when would they do that? Yeah, I'm like,
Both teams are scoring points. If let's say both teams score 10 points, 10-10, nobody gained an advantage point wise. So sometimes it's more strategic, like you score a couple more points than the other team, then you call it off right away. So then you come out of that jam with the lead.
That's
Oh, okay.
definitely one of those things that you have to see in person to understand.
Yeah.
The sport is crazy.
It's vibes based, honestly.
who made these rules?
There's so many rules. It's out of control.
I
I
think
think
we
there's
had-
like
I love
7 referees, isn't it? Like
Oh, wow.
every game. So
don't
that's
even know.
a lot of eyes trying to keep track of everything.
Right.
And then some calls still get
She
missed.
doesn't even know how many referees. That's why you're in the box so much. That's,
It's
So,
different
yeah,
because you
there-
never see them.
like there was a referee over there too. You saw that? Oh,
There are
gosh.
3, I think typically there are 3 outside pack referees, 2 jam referees, 2 inside pack refs. Or-
I don't know.
I want to say 2 inside pack referees. It might be 3. Anyone watching from like WIFTA or MURTA who knows the rules, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then there are also a lot of people that we have who are off skates, who are also officials. There are NSOs, non-skating officials. They time the penalty box, they time the game, they operate the
Okay.
scoreboard, they track penalties. We honestly cannot play the game without officials. One of our teammates likes to say that there are more officials on the track at any given time than there are skaters on an individual team.
Mm.
So it is very much like many hands make slightly lighter work.
I feel like there's a lot of sports that could benefit from a few more.
I was going to
officials
say,
out there.
then it sounds like roller
How did
derby
you
is one of
not see
the
that?
few sports, right?
Where they actually have
plenty
enough
of-
officials to make sure things are going right. Yeah, that's funny. Well, that's why so many sports are going to replays, right? Because the human factor is, not always perfect.
Yeah.
And you can't bribe a camera. I'm kidding. Nobody's bribing anybody, and right?
Oh, I
That's
thought you
not
said you were
happening.
kidding. You
Oh,
can't grab
right,
a camera.
sure.
Oh my gosh. All right. So, so how many more games do you have this season? Then you said you are going away. You've got a game in Rochester, and then you're
We
going
got
out of.
Rochester. We have a doubleheader on the 14th. We go to the UK and play 3 games. We
That's
in July have a trip. No, we have a tournament in July.
Is it roller derby
Where
tournament?
we'll have multiple games, and then we'll end our season with our little. We have it's not little. We have a big event that the Guardians host in Summit County called Summer Affair, where we invite everybody from all over the world to get tickets and go on scrimmage teams, and we just play a fun weekend of derby together.
It's
in the
derby summer
fairgrounds.
camp.
Yeah, it's summer camp.
That's awesome.
Oh,
So
fun.
we'll end out our season with that.
And when is the end of the season then?
Technically, the end of the season is the end of July.
July. And then when do you start back up again? Like, what's the cycle of your season?
Typically, Burning River and the Guardians will have home games kind of from August, September up through November.
That's where we scrimmage each other. We break our own team into like 2 different groups, and we stay active.
We play
all
year
year
round. Yeah,
Okay.
it's never ending.
The closest thing I can call to like an end of the derby season is, at least for Burning River, we have a big old fundraiser in like November, December time called Black and Blue.
Right. Yeah.
It's huge. Everyone skates. Everyone comes up with these incredible names. Lots of puns. I'm trying to think. Someone was Jerry Hattrick last year. Jerry Hattrick.
Love it.
Yeah,
That's
we've
great.
had some good ones. But yeah, then
Some I can't say on camera.
after Black and Blue, we take a little bit of a holiday break and then come back in January full swing. So we get
Okay.
little breaks here and there, but truly we're playing year round. So
That's awesome.
never ending.
So do you
Cool.
guys get like a lot of fandom, or like how can Clevelanders like support you guys more, or what? What's that like?
We're active on Facebook, so if you could follow us there, that's where we
Instagram.
have all our schedules, and we post videos and links to our games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come to our games. Every bit of merch that we sell goes into the business. So everything we sell is a fundraiser for us to be able to, get our jerseys, travel, all that good stuff.
Post tournaments.
Yeah. Follow us on our YouTube page. The more followers that we get, the better off we're going to be. But yeah, coming to our games, I would say, is the best way that you could help fundraise us,
And then sometimes you'll see some of us at like local skate, like Cleveland area skating rinks. I think we have a couple of people who session skate in Elyria.
Yeah, I
Pretty
actually
often.
skated there
Oh.
last night with my kid.
Yeah, so if you see a Guardians roller derby jersey in the wild, come say hi.
yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Sweet.
Well,
Yeah,
and
I
I
could get
did.
one for
We like I
myself.
said, we did see you guys at Fan Expo.
Yeah.
So you guys do events like that throughout the year to kind of promote as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you going to be at any other events like that?
I'm not sure.
Nothing's in the works right
Yeah.
now.
Right now
Okay.
we're just like traveling, playing.
Yep.
So, but you will see us at events throughout the year, both Burning River and Cleveland Guardians. We try to connect with local businesses and events like that as much as we possibly can.
So, so the next chance for folks in Cleveland to see you live, other than YouTube, obviously, is the June 14th game, correct?
Yes.
That is correct.
All right. Well, then, guys, you need to go out and see that. Plus, like I said, hopefully Utah and I both will be there to check it out. You said it's a double header. There's going to be two
Yep.
games.
Yes.
All right. Who you guys playing against?
Pittsburgh Zombies.
Oh, can we root against that? Do we hate Pittsburgh and roller derby as much as
No,
we do?
we
in
are
football?
all friends. Nobody hates each other. We're all working towards the same
Okay.
goal.
Okay. All right.
We all go to after parties
Yeah.
together after the bouts.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts about like derby, like the camaraderie on the track. While blocking, while playing, people are like, "Oh my god, that was an awesome hit," or what have you. People joke around before the jam starts.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool.
It's a fun,
Yeah,
goofy
that's
game.
nice.
That's
Yeah.
great.
We'll be playing Pittsburgh Zombies and Casco Bay's B team. So a couple
Okay.
of great teams from great places.
All right.
Nice.
Well,
Awesome.
looking forward to it. And I know you guys are getting ready to practice here at 10, so we don't want to keep you guys too much longer. But and we told everybody how to find you guys on Facebook. What about you guys individually? Do you guys post about roller derby on your personal Instagrams, things like that? Do you want to share that? Or is that if it's just for friends and family, that's fine too.
I'm honestly kind of private on social media. I don't post anything.
Totally get it. Yeah, I just want to make
Nothing
sure.
wrong with that.
Not that famous yet.
I gotcha.
You can follow
Yeah.
me at Maloik988 on Instagram. My Instagram is public. And I also work for a company called Roller Derby Athletics, so you can follow us there.
Oh.
We work on like strength training for people who play roller derby all over the world. So if you wanted
very
to
cool.
follow that Instagram page, that would be awesome too.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the show. It was so cool to talk to you guys. I can't wait to come out and see you guys live. And stay safe at practice today, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us. Nice to meet
Thanks for
you.
having you.
All
See ya.
right. That was awesome. I can't wait to go and see roller derby with these guys. Are you? So
They-
you didn't commit, Utah. You're going to be there with me, or no? You still
Well,
have to
okay,
check
so
your calendar with the family. I know.
well,
But I
the big thing is, I think for our reload decision, I think we're leaning towards
Oh, right.
staying.
Okay.
And so yes, and so I think the 14th will be great. It's like just down the street for me. So
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's so close. Even if you didn't stay the whole time, you're like, we could.
yeah, but I definitely want to support them. I mean, like I said, one of our family friends, their daughter Ginger, was part of the Burning River. I think she was part of the hazmat crew, and she did that for a while. And it was just neat because I honestly didn't realize. I knew it existed, but I didn't realize that it was so organized, that there's actual organized communities and leagues and teams. And so it was
Yeah.
cool to see a friend's daughter get involved and get a little peek into that world. And these guys sound great. They've been,
Yeah.
I mean, they're committed. They've been doing it for over a decade now. So
Yeah, I love the spirit of it too. Like I
Yeah.
said, there's rivalries. Obviously, once you're on the roller on the. I didn't ask track. There we go.
once you're on the track,
Once you're on the track there, all bets are off. But then, after it's like, we're just all in this together. It's fun. We're having a good time. And that's the way it should be. So
yeah, that's why it's not a real
celebrate
sport.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I'm kidding.
That's funny. No.
kidding.
And yeah, but I don't know. It's funny because if you saw the stuff that we saw when we were younger, Aaliyah, roller derby was a lot more like WWF. Like
It was basically pro wrestling on wheels.
on
is really
skates.
what
Yeah, it was very theatrical. So
lots
this
of
is
high elbows to the neck, clotheslines,
Yeah.
headbutts.
this is like an actual sport, and it's exciting to come and check it out. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So I
Hey.
just want to remind everybody that I'm giving away all this stuff here, guys, on Instagram. Paramount has been kind enough to share these things with us, and we're gonna then share them with you. So make sure you follow us on Instagram so that I can give you some free stuff. Hopefully there. Not sure what our next episode is going to be yet. We've got a couple things in the pipeline, but we will also be telling you about that on Instagram. So make sure you're there so you can find out about future episodes. Utah, Aaliyah, thank you again for being here. It's so
Hey,
nice.
glad I could
Having me.
be
I'm
there long distance.
I know, even though you're away, I'm so glad we're still able to pull this off. So
Yeah.
that's it for this episode of the podcast is Real with World Gun Geek. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya. We're waving.
The Podcast is Real is a World Gone Geek production.